Martial arts is a tradition in my family. So coming from my uncle and my uncle ref 4 Olympic Games in Judo. My father won Olympic Games, 4 World Championships, Pan American Games. So I was born on the mat, so I don't know how to do another things but fighting. So this is my background. So I started Judo when I was 3, and then when I was, I think almost together, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Marcelo Bering when he moved to São Paulo. I think it was around 1985 when I started. And then together I was invited to participate in a wrestling tournament. And I didn't know the rules. The guy explained me the rules in one day, and a day before I was competing. And I became a national champion. So, and then since then I started my wrestling career. So Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling happened together. So I've been competing in 3 different, grappling styles. When I was a child, my father used to have the old Beetle, and I was tiny. I used to hide myself on a. There's a thing behind the seat, the back seat, and I used to cover myself with the gi. And like he was, the gym from my house was about 20 miles. And I was waiting for him to leave, and as soon as he left, I opened the door and say, "Hey, here I am. How'd you get here?" I was in the back of the car, and then that's the story that he tells everybody. So I have a passion, and this is my passion. There is always, a way to change, a way to modify, and there's always something to learn. Every day that I got on the mat, every time now that I, go online, I see people, changing one thing here, one thing there. And it might help me or help the students. So it's a constant evolution. My mindset, my goal here is to do for the community. I think if you teach people how to fight, I can put pressure on people here. I can modify the style that I'm teaching here and make people compete. And then that's going to be for myself and my ego to have a lot of champions, right? Medals, medal chaser, whatever people talk about. That's horrible. Right, so you can do that, but what about the best part of the martial art? It changed people's life, self-confidence, and maybe a person that had been bullied entire life because he's a fat, maybe wear glasses, and give that child or that person a confidence back, reestablish that, and make the person live a better life. I think that my job will pay, through that.
Now, why do you think their confidence goes up so much? Do you think it's the first time that they're really maybe being challenged? That it's, or is it just maybe the interaction with other people, it's positive people in the gyms? Why do you think it's such a positive thing?
I think it's a combination of elements that, here you have the highest rank as a black belt. Sharing the knowledge with the beginner, why this high level guy, sometimes a world champion, he's on the UFC, why he's sharing the knowledge with me? So first of all, makes the friendship tighter. I think other thing is very physical, and when you learn that you can defend yourself, sometimes you can neutralize. Or one day you learn this, let's say, name Escape from Mount, and then you have the highest guy in the school mounted on you, and all of a sudden you bump the guy up and you escape. Something's going to click on your mind. Said, you know what? I'm able to do. I can have the ability, and that's the gift of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Give the person the ability, give the person the knowledge that he's going to or she's going to be able to do something for her own life or his own life. This is ageless. My father is 80 years old. He's still working out. Of course, he moves on his own way, but I believe for his 80, he can move way better than a person that doesn't do anything. So, and one thing that I learned in this country, right? There is no age. I felt myself, I retired, from competition with a lot of injuries. When I moved here, the students are, almost kicking my butt. I said, you know what? Let me go back and train, because everybody here is in a good shape. Everybody cares about their health. And that's the thing that I learned, and that's the thing that changed, it clicks me. You know, and I think everybody, you know, that's an excuse to be sitting on the couch and with a remote control in your hand and a phone in the other hand, you know, playing on Facebook, whatever. Get off the couch, move, you know, and you're gonna find pleasure on this. I can pull a father here, you know, he brought the youngest one, you know, has a little, very shy, you know, trying to pull the guy out. So I started, and then he brought the older brother. All of a sudden I looked at him and said, time to lose your belly. Me? No, I'm 40. So, did you die already or something? Because you say you're 40 like you're a dead person? No, you're not. Yeah, but I did wrestling 25 years ago. Now you're going to do jiu-jitsu. He's on the mat right now. Lost, I think, 10, 15 pounds, you know, the belly. He started to compete, went to the Pan Ams. Next year he's going to go to the Worlds, competing all over, you know, local tournaments. It's a life change.
What does it do for kids?
Kids, it's interesting because first they come here because of the parents. There's something going on in the house, or it's a parent request to you know, to do something different for the child. And then kids, they're very honest, sincere, because if they don't like you, they're gonna grab on the mother's leg and say, I don't like this, and then they go. So sometimes, you know, I have to be the clown. Sometimes I have to be the ninja. So I have to be have 10,000 different personalities to be able to create the confidence bridge between me and the child, and say, you know what, I have something fun to give it to you, and this is, you're gonna care for the rest of your life. All my accomplished I did for me, and the experience that I have, I want to pass on in a positive way to the kids. I think, you know, being a child that grew up seeing my father smoking because it's cultural, now I don't want to see the kids drinking soda anymore. I don't want to see the kids eating a lot of sugar anymore. So I want to see the kids going more organic than, you know, junk food. I think this is going to be my accomplish. If I can change people's life in a better way, that's what I want to do. It makes me very sad when I have to step up and help people, you know, diagnosed with cancer or anything else that, you know, we see a lot in our community, right? I think if we live and if we eat better, those kind of things gonna drop. People that wants to be affiliated with me, I don't want to have a very big team, a powerful team. I want to keep my tradition. So people that wants to branch out Yamasaki needs to be a student from this place. Or if you're not a student from this place, you're going to come here, you're going to train, you're going to spend time with me to understand what I have here and what I have here. From that, as soon as, same thing with the kids, we build up the bridge, confidence, you know, friendship, all the elements, you know, and then we'll move on. We need to speak the same language, and our language here is to give up. I come from a place that used to call Valituda before. No rules. Sometimes when I used to take, you know, my fighter to fight, I end up fighting, you know, on around the ring, you know, with the other team, and then riots, you know, on the arena in Brazil, you know, leaving the arena and then had to fight on the street. So that's my background and that's my experience. You know, when people used to come and invade my school and say, you know what, I want to try this. What is this? I said, really, you want to try this? Okay. Ask my student, close the door, and you stay in the door. So nobody can leave the place. Sit down, everybody. I said, you want to challenge me? Is that a challenge? Yes. So the thing is, I will stop when I want, not when you ask me to stop. Do you understand that? So that's the rule. You can beg, you can cry, you're not going to leave this place when I finish. Do you understand? And of course, the other person, you know, used to have a lot of pride. Big, sometimes, you know, I'm a small guy, right? It's not easy to be bigger than me. Bigger guy, you know, full of ego. All right, you ready? So take the guy down, arm bars. You know, sometimes I had the students pulling me off, and I was mad, you know, because you don't challenge people, you know, in front of the students. You know, you don't mess with people's honor, especially if you're a fighter. And that used to happen a lot, you know, maybe more than 5 times I had to do that. You see, there is one thing that a lot of wrestler has here is ego. And you know, it's in a good way, in a bad way. Sometimes, you know, it's like a poison, but you know, they're not afraid. You know, let's fight these guys, you know, let's see it. You know, their life is to fight, same as ours, let's do it. So that's the thing that brought the sport together. You know, the courage, the drive. My gym set up that you pass through the door, you see the cage. You know, when people pass the cage, so they feel like, oh, I can be Anderson Silva, I can be, Randy Couture. But when they put their face on the cage, oh, this is painful. It's you know, it's 2 ways. The confidence, I think, is number 1. If you have no confidence, you're done. So this is the martial arts spirit, right? Mm-hmm. You step there, you go there, because when you hear the noise, you know, locking the gate, and you can't escape anymore. Back in the days on the boxing ring, I saw many people jump underneath and going away. Now, you know, after they did the cage, when you hear the noise, forget about it. Can't escape. Now I need to fight.
With the fights that you had, it seemed like maybe you enjoy it a little bit. Why didn't you go into the cage? Was that a consideration?
Yes, and I think I had to. 1994, my master was killed, and he was my motivation to do things in my life. Mm. You know, and he is the person that I trust 100%. And when I lost him, I lost my mentor. You know, I lost part of my confidence. Mm-hmm. I could train, and then I had to go somewhere else. And back in the days, if I had to train with somebody else, I would have to represent their name. And that's the thing that I didn't want to change, and I want to carry my master name throughout my life. That's how I learn, and that's how I want to pass forward. So I had a offer to fight at UFC. Mm-hmm. The matchmaker back then, or I think he was assistant, so his name was James. He used to work for UFC, and he came to me and said, you know, anytime you want to fight, let me know. I'll put you in. I'd love to see you fighting. I said, thanks for the offer. You know, I will consider. And then, you know, and there was a time that I was finishing my competition career, you know, starting to make money. And when you start to make money, you start to appreciate that. You say, you know what? Do I really need to break my bones again to make money? I think the way I'm doing right now, I'm doing pretty well, and it's not painful, you know. And then I said, you know what? Let me rest. And then I got married. You know, my daughter was born. I said, you know what? No more surgeries. And I don't regret, you know, everything that I try, you know, to achieve. You know, I did a lot in wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu also, my judo career. So, you know, I achieved pretty much everything that I set to myself.
What kind of father do you strive to be? What kind of father are you?
Father has to have balance. A father is between the father and the mother. The mother is the passion, and the father is the reason, I would say. So the father is the limitation. The father is the one that needs to say the no. You know, a good father doesn't say yes for everything. A good father has to understand, and sometimes, even though it's hard, you have to put limit. You have to say no, right? And one thing that I do a lot, you know, I don't know if because I'm Brazilian or my style, I'm very touchy. You know, I hug, I kiss every child in my school. You know, everybody when they come across, you know, they come around. Let me show you this. You see, sometimes I give to them, you know, say, hey, here's a little thing for you. Big hug, you know, and I think they need to feel love. They need to feel that we care about them, right? So now I have 250 sons and daughters around me that I have to, you know, take care of them. You know, when it's time to go straight to the conversation, you know, put them here. Even my son, you know, when I have to talk, you know, straight with him, pull him out of the mat, sit down where you are, look into his eyes, say, listen, this is the problem that we're going through. This is how we need to solve this. Do you understand? So I make sure that he understands when he gets here, even though he sees his father in front of him, it's time to see the master. It's time to see the teacher. And this is, you know, it's hard to separate, but it's very important.